They waited until the last day of school to tell me that they weren't going to do anything about it. I had to push back and fight for it, and then finally, now there's an HIB for the kid. But if I had just done nothing, nothing would have happened, and my son would have gone into high school, getting picked on by these same kids, and then I would have just let him punch the shit out of him. Pardon my language, I'm sorry. That's how I would have had my son handle it. That's how I handled it as a kid. That's not how you should do it nowadays. But the principal didn't have the full story. The teacher didn't have the full story. No one had the full story. So there's no one advocating for these children but us. What do? What's to stop a teacher from sharing? And then I go and complain to the principal. How many times is enough from the principal? He's tired of hearing from me. I'm not returning my phone. I'm not saying this is happening. I'm saying at what point until this happens. So I understand what you guys are saying. I think there needs to be more. We ask for representation from us to you guys as like a panel. Why can't that happen? So that's my questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Madam President, I just want to welcome everyone back to YouTube and apologize for the channel being down.
Okay. Yes, welcome back, everybody.
Sorry the channel went down for a while. We had a connectivity issue, but we're back now.
Okay. And Dr. Conklin, is it safe to say for everyone who missed the presentation by the board attorney?
Yes, Mr. Silvestrio's presentation will be available online for people to look through. It'll be part of the record of the board.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone else want to come up and share in public comment before we close? Okay, then I'm going to close this portion of public comment for this evening, Dr. Conklin. I'm going to ask if we can go back to the first public comment session. There were a few questions.
I think I have a few answers. Mm-hmm. One would be in terms of the health curriculum. There was a question. First, I would always say contact the building principal. They have they're the closest to the specific teacher. They can explain better than we can at a board meeting. But all of the materials and resources used to develop the lessons are posted online in the lessons. They weren't connected to the curriculum. That's why we posted all the lessons, because that was something that the community requested. All those resources, all that is within the lessons. Any of the lessons that don't have any curriculum attached is because it's teacher-created materials. But all of the materials that we did use are already board approved. For example, Brain Pop is a big video platform that we use across the district, and that was most, if not all, of the resources we used.
Can we tie that into Mr. Ferrara's question about
so yeah,
the
I was going to answer that one. Yep.
Yeah.
So the classes are combined. So if the health period ends within 20 minutes, it's during the gym period, and the health teacher is the PE teacher. They'll just have PE for the remainder of the period. So the health doesn't continue, the health period ends, and then PE starts. We've scheduled all the health classes to be in, this is elementary only, this is not high school or middle school. They have 2 periods of PE a week. One is in the PE class, because we have limited space. The other one is in the classroom. Usually they have activities within the classroom if they can't go outside. So if the weather's too cold, they stay inside, and they have PE in the classroom. So they would have the health lesson that lasts 20 minutes, and then they would have PE for the remainder of the period. So there is no additional health lesson, it just goes right to PE, because the health teacher and the PE teacher are the same teacher. So I hope that answered that question. And then if there are teachers that are oversharing, the process is really to contact the building principal. We will do an investigation. We really don't share what the results of that investigation are. We do have progressive discipline for teachers if they are violating their individual code of conduct specifically outlined in their contracts. So if there are instances where teachers are exceeding their professional expectations, then we do an investigation, and there's progressive discipline related to that in the occasion that happens. We hope that there isn't more than ever this happens. If there is one instance, we hope that one instance is the last instance. If not, then again, please contact the building principal so we can try to stop that from continuing.
And then just, I believe that Mary had also mentioned about the Smart Academy.
Right, I was saving that for last.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Because it's such a different topic.
Yeah.
So Smart Academy, again, Ms. Madera can speak to this better than I can. I will ask again if you have questions specifically to that. You either contact Ms. Madera or Mrs. Jacobs. She's actually the one that runs Smart Academy. Smart Academy is a general education intervention program that supports students that aren't receiving targeted instruction through their IEPs or 504s. It's usually a few days a week after school for a short amount of time. That's designed to be a short-term intervention strategy for students who are experience some academic deficits. It's not for students who are eligible for specific supports, like 2 teachers in the classroom all day. Those services should be delivered in the classroom during the school day, not provided after school. If a student isn't receiving the services that they're required to during the school day, they shouldn't have to receive those services after school. We should modify or accommodate for their needs during the school day. They shouldn't get more services. We should provide them during the school day. So if they're not meeting with the achievement levels they need to schedule an IEP or a 504 meeting to discuss what additional services and supports we can provide during the school day, not after school. And students who have IEPs and 504s can be eligible for Smart Academy if they're not already receiving that level of tiered service during the school day. So a student that may be eligible for something related to an orthopedic impairment may be eligible for Smart Academy because they're not receiving that academic support during the day. So that's the difference between Smart Academy and receiving support services through IEPs and 504s.
And if a parent has a question about about any of this, they should contact their child's
They should always contact, the case manager is the first point of contact, but if they've already talked to the case manager and they're not satisfied with the response, they would reach out to Ms. Madera specifically about the IEP, and if it's really related to Smart Academy supports what's eligibility criteria, that would be Ms. Jacobs, because she manages the Smart Academy. Again, it's 2 separate services and supports.
Good, okay. All right, then I'd like to make a motion to adjourn public session and enter back into executive session at approximately 7:49 p.m. Do I have a motion?
I'll second.
Oh, I need a motion.
And I'll second.
Okay, great. Brian, can you take the roll, please?
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Against, nay. Abstentions? Motion carried.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for coming and for sharing your comments this evening.